Hello friends, this is Kavita Kokunur, Homeopath from USA. Welcome to KHA Homeopathy Study Group Pro Bono webinar. Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. So nice to see many of you from different countries and different time zones. Before we start our webinar, we always thank Universe for giving us this great opportunity. Dr. Sweta Singh, our KHA Chief Administrator, and Dr. Shrija, our KHA Coordinator, will start the session. Shrija, would you like to go?
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, everyone. Myself, Dr. Shrija Aravalli, KHA Coordinator, welcomes our respected speaker, Chairman and CEO Kavita ma'am, KHA volunteers and all the attendees to the KHA webinar. I would like you to take the opportunity to introduce KHA Homeopathy Study Group to all of you. KHA Homeopathy Study Group Pro Bono was organized and founded by homeopath and humanitarian Kavita Kokunur, President and CEO of Kavita Holistic Approach. This study group is intended to be an offering from Kavita to the homeopaths around the globe, sharing goodwill and solid clinical work within the classical model are foundational principles for the KHA. KHA's mission and vision are very unique to inspire young homeopaths, mentor, provide excellency for educational purposes using holistic approaches via webinars, which are based on principles of classical homeopathy and provide professional continuing educational homeopathic credits for practitioners. We provide merit certificates for spreading the light of homeopathy around the globe. Dr. Kavita is a member of Coven Friendly Foundation, a non-profit organization that helps to serve poor people in greater needs in India. She is nationally board certified by Council of Homeopathic Certification, CHC, also the associate editor of the Homeopathic Heritage and ACHENA CPD provider. She is the recipient of Martha Allman Community Service Award by National Center for Homeopathy and Best Entrepreneur Award from Dr. N. Lingaraju, Principal of JSPS Homeopathic Medical College, Hyderabad, India. TANA, Telugu Association of North America, a prestigious organization, honored and awarded her for selfless homeopathic and humanitarian services at Ladies' Night Out on October 2022, Michigan. Also, Dr. Kavita received the prestigious legendary homeopathic award with joint hands of Honorable Health Minister Dr. Dhan Singh Rawat, Senior MLA Mr. Harbhajan Singh Cheema, ex-Director Homeopathic Government of Uttarakhand, and Chairman of HomeoCure and Research Institute during National Homeopathic Seminar, Homeopathy, the Future Medicine, at Kashipur on 21st August 2022. Dr. Deepak Sharma, KHA Executive, Dr. Rajneesh Sharma, KHA Advisor, KHA team were also organized and presented with legendary homeopathic award at ceremony. We are extremely happy and proud that we celebrated 11 years of our book, Beyond the Limits and a Challenge to Prove Oneself. On January 2022, we launched our ebook, A Dose of Spirituality with Kavita, in presence of honorable guest or speaker, American Institute of Homeopathy, President Dr. Alex Becker, and Council for Homeopathy. CHC President Dr. Sheetal Tiwari at a KHA webinar and At KHA's second annual celebrations, our honorable guest of speaker, Dr. Jawahar Shah, chairman of Enlightenment Education, launched audiobook and hard copy of her second write upon a dose of spirituality with Kavita. We are delighted to share that on January 23rd, our spirituality book has completed its 1 year, and we have donated over $1,400 to 10 to 15 charities, which we have also listed them on the website. Dr. Kavita donated the proceedings of the book through KHA study group platforms to various charitable organizations and homeopathic associations. To name a few are Kavin Friendly Foundation, CHC, DHMA, JSPS College, VT Seva, NCH, etc. Interested ones can reach us for details at khastudygroup@gmail.com. As of now, we have over 300 plus recordings on professional webinars related to homeopathy, health-related topics, and inspirational talks available on our channel, Kavita Kukunur. This webinar is moderated by KHA family, myself, Dr. Shrija Aravalli, KHA coordinator. It is being recorded as we speak. We will take questions at the end of the webinar. We will post the jot form too. Please fill the form to receive the certificate. If you're watching live webinar, email us at khastudygroup@gmail.com. Kindly mute yourself and turn your video off for better connections.
Thank you so
Over
much,
to you, ma'am.
Dr. Shrija, our enthusiastic car volunteer, and Dr. Sweta, she manages our car activities with cute smile. I thank Ka Homeopathy Study Group entire team for their continuous selfless support, with which we are able to make our pro bono activities and webinars so beautiful. These webinars are for educational purposes only and should not misuse any of the course content without speaker's permission. Always seek an expert homeopath for treatment. Today, April 9th, 2023, we have two honorable speakers. Our first honorable speaker, Dr. Dinesh Chauhan, with very unique and interesting topic that was not covered so far in our webinars. That is integrative holistic approach in wisdom age. And second topic would be about importance of ACHENA by Karen Allen, President of ACHENA, which stands for Accreditation Commission for Homeopathic Education in North America. And we will be covering several topics today: wisdom age and a gift or a curse, concepts based on new scientific research, and wisdom age-centric case-taking process, design a unique questions, case histories to walk the talk about all those concepts with more than 5 years, Parkinson and other degenerative diseases, and many more. Today's session would be 2 hours, so stay tuned until the end of the webinar. No introduction is needed to Dr. Dinesh Chauhan, world-renowned homeopath. He's from Mumbai. Dr. Dinesh Chauhan is globally recognized as a humble genius who has revolutionized homeopathy by his novel method of patient-centric case-taking, the scientifically intuitive case witnessing process, and its application in children and special needs children, the child-centric case witnessing process, in deep irreversible pathologies, psychiatric cases, cancer, acute cases, old age, and many more. Along with uniquely designed 3-step case-taking method, his integrated holistic approach in remedy reading, understanding, and giving simillimum-centric advice to his patients in life for hobby, art, profession has brought a paradigm shift in the homeopathic world. His unique way of creating simillimum field in case taking to make patient aware of their whole center remedy in systematic way is worth watching. His latest work, The Right Brain Approach in Homeopathy, is a further step ahead in case witnessing process and one more toolbox to understanding the patients with better depth and surety. The whole case witnessing process, along with the right brain approach and its method, is so deeply human centric that the patient receives the healing from the get go. Besides innovating the case taking technique, Dr. Chauhan has extensively worked and researched on a multidimensional integrated approach in understanding the plant kingdom, posology, and mineral kingdom. Dr. Dinesh launched a website dedicated to the integrative holistic approach in plant kingdom. You can visit his website www.plantski.com. A newly launched website which has complete integrative holistic encyclopedia of the remedies from the plant kingdom. He has taught internationally for decades in more than 30 countries. He is author of 4 books, newly released The Right Brain Approach in Homeopathy, The Scientifically Intuitive Case Witnessing, The Journey of the 3 Steps, A Wander from a Little Wonder, Child-Centric Case Witnessing, ranked as one of the best book on pediatric case taking in homeopathy. The Journey into the Human Core, and an author of layman book for pediatric holistic homeopathy. From treating to transforming. Choose homeopathy, a designer approach for your child. His work can be seen at his website www.casewitnessing.com and www.plantski.com and www.swsthyhealing.com. We will also share the links in the chat. We are so honored to receive Dr. Dinesh Chauhan's new book, The Right Brain Approach in Homeopathy. As a part of our code of ethics, we did book review of speakers and we are going to share the recording in the chat at the end. Now let us welcome our first honorable speaker, Dr. Dinesh Chauhan, to our webinar.
Thank you, Dr. Kavita. Can we start? Thank you so much. 1 minute. So I'll just, can I share my screen? Yes. Is my screen visible?
Dr. Sweta and Dr. Shrija will be taking any questions, Dr. Dinesh. They will let us know. Thank you.
Perfect, perfect. Let me know when can I start. So,
So,
screen is visible, sir. You can proceed.
yes.
Screen is visible. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Perfect. So let's start. We don't waste time, and I know we have just 1.5 hours. So we are today. We decided to talk about wisdom age, an elderhood-centric homeopathic approach. Let's first start with one story. You know, in India, we have a lot of stories, and it is a country where the teaching used to happen with stories. So there is this story about Tenali Rama and goddess Kali. Tenali Rama goes to his guru, Ramakrishna, and asks that when will I, or how will I get the integrative, holistic knowledge of everything? And Ramakrishna tells him that outside the village, there is a temple of Kali, and you pray to her. Kali, goddess, fiercely looking goddess, very, very. Pray her and she'll appear and she'll give you the highest truth. So he goes there and he prays, and Kali appears basically. You know? And looking at the Kali, the Tenali Rama starts laughing. And naturally, the Kali being Kali, goddess Kali, who gets angry very fast. And she gets angry that, why are you laughing at me? And Tenali Rama says, extremely sorry. I was just wondering that I have just two nostrils, just one nose. And I get so worried when I get cold. Imagine you have 10 heads. So I'm just wondering, if you get cold, how will you handle it? And looking at this bit of him, the Kali gets impressed. And Kali says, okay. Ask what? So she says that, I have this two drink, the juice, juice of life or juice of knowledge. If you drink the first one, I will bless you with ultimate intelligence of where you can focus on one master, one book, one approach, one path, one method. And if you consume the second, you will be blessed with the whole, with the integrative, inclusive, holistic knowledge. And she says, think carefully and choose wisely. What do you think he must have selected? He being Tenali Rama, he says, I'm confused. And he says, can you give me both in my hand? I cannot decide. And Kali gives him, and he takes both in his hand, and he drinks both the juice. And Kali again, gets very furious. That I told you to drink one. And he nicely replied, and that reply is very nice, he says, I beg your forgiveness, Mother Kali. But what is the use of one without the other? The part without the whole and the whole without the part is useless. Hence, I took both. Now, it's very, very important, we have two approaches in front of us. The one where we have two-dimensional. What I mean by two-dimensional, that one person, one book, one system, one method, one approach-oriented system. And then we have second choice, where we have integrative, multi-dimensional approach. And both is needed in homeopathy, because if you see our principles is individualization, holism, and then the similimum. You need to, what they call, find individualistic expression. Along with that individualistic expression at a whole level. Individualization at a whole level is the key in homeopathy. And we are doing this lecture today and tomorrow is Hanuman's birthday. So it's nice, we can talk about those principles. So what I was trying to say is this, that that there is one where there is two-dimensional approach, like one person oriented, one book, Hahnemannian approach, Boningausen approach, Kantian approach, Mr. Vitolka's approach, sensation synergy approach of Dr. Rajan, genetic approach of Dr. Vijayakar, and so on, many others. These are two-dimensional, one person, one system, one book oriented. Somewhere we need to find what we call inclusive, integrative, multi-dimensional, holistic approach. Whether you do case taking, whether you do remedy selection, whether you do remedy understanding, whether it is follow-up, whether it is posology, whether it is anything you do today. For example, we are doing elderhood centric approach. So this is what I learned 20 years back. And since then, all my books, which were mostly on case taking, was how to find peculiars. Yes, at particular level, general level, mental level, but along with that, holistic level. How I use approach of case taking according to what we call tailor-made designer approach for each patient with their age, with their pathology different. And that's what I kept developing. The tailor-made designer case-taking method. What I call 3 steps of case-taking. In fact, Hahnemann himself, if you read some of his quote like this one from Lesser Writing, that how often I wished for the concurrence of some physician of eminence on this point. I always hoped obtain it believing that observation conducted by really practical minds must eventually unite in truth. As radii of a circle, though even so far ascender at the circumference, all converge in a common center. Just keep watch here so I don't miss the time. This is what I was talking about, that you have individualization, you have holism when they come, and then you have similism. So the individualization at a whole level is the key. Whether you understand a patient or a remedy or selecting a remedy or understanding follow-up or posology, everything has to be done at individualistic as well as holistic level. Okay. Second thing, that whether you read a remedy or whether you read a patient, which is the two sides of the same coin, to start with, you get in both of them scattered symptoms. As for example, you read pulsatilla, scattered symptom. Or when you read a patient, you get some symptom in particular, some in general, some in mind, some at whole level, some thematic. Yeah. But then when you note them down, you see in some where some symptoms which are common in general and particular, some symptoms which are common in general and mind, some symptoms which are common in particular and mind, or some which are common in all three. Yeah. Now, those symptoms which are constant, common between mind and body, particular and general, general and mind, those are holistic symptoms. Different masters call them different names. Vijay Karsar calls it genetic constitution symptom. Some call it essence, Mr. Vitolka. Some call sensation and synergy, like that. The idea is those symptoms which are holistic. Yeah, I like to call that as master key of the case or of the remedy. Once you get that master key, whether when you're reading a patient or you're reading a remedy, you start the next step. Get hold of that master key, keep asking about that master key, and keep seeing till every scattered symptom come together in a beautiful system. This system, in some patient or in, it'll be whole plus mental symptom or particular symptom or general symptom. In some, it will be whole plus miasm. In some, it will be whole plus central pathology or diathesis or sphere of action. In some, it will be whole plus the thematic language, the kingdom or a kingdom, sub-kingdom, and the source language. So idea is this is what I'm talking about, the integrative holistic approach, that from the scattered find the whole. Once you get hold of the whole, let everything come together in a beautiful system. And that system is different in different patient. In some, it can be whole plus miasm. In some, whole plus scattered PQRS. In some, it can be whole plus pathology. In some, it can be whole plus kingdom, sub-kingdom, and the source. Clear? So this is, what I follow. Then is my case taking, which, as I said, a case taking which should be simple, scientific, reproducible. For example, if you look at this picture, let me take it better like this. That I divide my case taking into 3 steps. The first step, as you see here, where I create an open space, unconditional space, ask non-leading unconditional question. Yeah. Let's say that space is given and patient goes to, let's say, chief complaint, and patient gives me these 2 symptoms. Then patient goes to generalities, and let's say he gives me these 2 symptoms. Then patient, let's say, go to fear, and he gives me these 2 symptoms. Then patient goes to, let's say, dreams, and he gives me these 2 symptoms. Now these are scattered PQRS. Now I'm checking what is that which is common in particular and general and mind, or in different component of mind. Of course, we all will see here is this dot, which is coming up constant. So then in my second step of case taking, with help of that dot, you keep asking. And then when they talk, see what they do, they connect this one and this one from here. This one, yeah, and this one. So I know that I'm on a right track. The scattered things are coming together in a holistic pattern. Once I'm sure, I keep that master key, that is this dot, in the center, and I keep asking till everything comes together, till everything is understood well. You understanding? At this stage, if you see, I see the rat very clear or a mouse very clear. The same mouse was there in the step 1. Yeah. But it was difficult because it was scattered. I would analyze, I would intellectualize, but chances of going wrong are high. At this stage, the chances of going wrong are less because part, general, and the whole comes together. Is it making sense? So these 3 steps in my book, in a simple, which is called Scientifically Intuitive Case Witnessing Process, the journey of 3 steps. Yeah. And the simple scientific reproducible case taking of 3 steps, where initially I ask I call the step 1 as a passive case taking, in which there are 2 parts. I do open passive, ask unconditional question, give unconditional question, give open space. And then I start guiding them in different stages of their life, childhood, teenage, middle age, now, or different subconscious area, fear, dreams, imagination, daydream, art, etc. Explore illness in terms of location, sensation, modality, and concomitant. And once all comes up, then you explore the whole all PQRS. That's the first part. By doing this kind of different stages, different situations, subconscious illness, I have explored 7, 8 areas. And then I'm checking what is that which is constant. That becomes the master key of the case. And others are, which are not constant but characteristic, you list them down. Once that is done, then you start the second step of case taking, that now this constant master key, ask and see what happens. Makes sense? Once I'm confirmed that this is right and actually the master key of the case, then finally it goes inactive, active. I'm convinced this is it. I keep asking where, and gradually as I ask, other things start coming up and I understand them better. And then I confirm all and my case is done. So this is what I'm doing since 2005-06 now. And then this 3 steps, how to use them in children cases. Then I wrote A Wander with a Little Wonder, Child-Centric Case Witnessing Process. A book which is now in more than 25-30 countries and also part of 20 countries, curriculum. Then I started applying this in different conditions. This in non-verbal children like autistic, Asperger, special children. This in pathology, this in acutes, this in psychiatric cases, this in deep pathological cases, in cancer cases. So slowly, the 3-step which was constant, they started becoming according to that age and according to that condition more specific. Like today we are doing old age. So we'll see how according to that age, what happens there. But before going there, let's start with one case. Is that a good idea? Yeah, so let
Yes.
me temporarily stop this one. And I start the case PowerPoint. Okay. It's a case of a lady in her 65 plus. Yeah. With Parkinson. I'll just show you some video and then we can definitely move on with PPT to save time, since I know we have just now 1 hour. Yeah. So it's a case of which I took 12 years, 13 years back, with completely confused stage 2 Parkinson, where slowly her ability to do her profession, her art, day-to-day activity like food, all went down. Mask face, involuntary movement of the face, of the hand. Yeah, so you see her a little bit, and then we go with PowerPoint. For 1 year, again came back.
Yeah, and she's totally down again.
Again down.
Again down. Always she's sleeping. And this facial expression. Always something is chewing. Or old lady, what they're doing, she's doing like that. So I was asking why you are doing like that. So always she's
Since
chewing.
how many days this have come back?
This has come back about 1 month.
About 1 month. Okay.
So we are not there. No? I told
Yeah. So this is what we are dealing with. In 1 month, what they are saying is because they were better with my treatment, and again it came back. The first video I lost. So this is what we had. Yeah, so let's start now. So first I gave her an open space. I gave her an open space, passive case taking, and asked her simple question. And see the question. Let your whole life move in front of your eyes and see what is coming up. Reflect back on golden moments of your life. Wherever you stop, I will guide you. Okay. You see, I said, reflect back. Yeah, make note of it. And golden moment of your life. Later on, we'll understand why. This I will not do with imaginary 8 children up to 8. This I will not do with teenager. This I will not do with the grown-up person, till middle age. With her, I did it. I love talking about happy things. I like to be happy all the time. She talks little, she get lost in the, kind of space. Her mouth is moving, yeah, so those are happening in between. Then she would stop, again start. I don't like sitting at home and getting bored. You can just make note of all what you think is peculiar, yeah? I have an interest in cooking, which I cannot do now. So I sit at home and get bored. Again, the mouth is moving. I love sewing and embroidery. I enjoy doing those activities. And the tear comes, and we know why, because now with these movements, it is not possible now. She said, I enjoy those activities. He goes further, and I keep guiding with same question time being. I love reading storybook. When I'm bored, I read them a lot. I did a lot of embroideries, fine needle work. I cannot do anything. Nowadays, all the time sleepy. Nothing gives me happiness. The doctor now, and she says, doctor, now please give me medicine. And then she said, can I sleep on that sofa? Yeah, and then she's a little bit smile comes out. She said, doctor, you're very serious. Yeah, so I also smile, and it goes further. There was a little pause. She said, then she goes, you treat me and me. You please treat me and make me enjoy all this sewing, embroidery, story, reading, doctor. I am bored with no tasty cooking, no reading. So you see, she wants to do all these things. Happiness is gone, enjoyment is gone, her ability to sewing, embroidery, and she feels bored. Let's keep seeing. Now see what I'm doing. Once she stopped and nothing was going further, I started guided passive. Guided means I'll guide her in different stages of her life, different situations of her life, conscious and subconscious, and illness. So I'm starting with tell about your childhood and see my question. Go back to your childhood and see what you remember about your dreams, fear, interest, hobbies, and imaginations. She goes, I used to love talking about anything with my friend, especially about making them or myself happy. I used to leave a smile. This used to leave a smile on my face all the time. And then the tear comes. Now I'm missing that smile. It's not there. When I delivered my child, I was so happy. But now that they grew and they are gone, means someday one person is pursuing study in other state and daughter is in, I think, in America. Now I'm missing that. When I delivered my child, I was so happy. But now that they have grew and gone, I feel sad. There is no fun. I'm not able to make food or play with. I used to love listening to song. used to play guitar, play card. In my free time, I used to do swimming. Again, childhood continue. I love having fun, making people laugh, making something in food, chewing, and now I cannot do. Now you make me all right in few months. She says, make me all right in few months. I don't have money for 2-3 years. She said, you know what? This way, doctor, I used to make jokes and make people laugh. My hands had a magic to make excellent recipe. My in-laws, my husband and my children loved the food I made. They say the taste is different. Now I cannot feed them. I'm bored in life, doctor. You see, even in the childhood, this kind of happiness, joke, and the boredom, and same sewing, embroidery, those kind of things are coming up. She said, if I am bored, I will start radio or TV. Earlier, they used to have song channels. I used to get bored. I have to occupy myself in something happy. When bored, I have to do anything which gives me happiness. I love romantic songs, which all mean, so she told me 3 songs, Bengali songs, which means a happy space, happy relationship, and how to come out of your pain and suffering by doing activity you love, or a lover getting separated where there is painful memories and they reflect on the happy memories. Yeah. So this what comes up, again, that romantic where there's a happy space or suffering space. Again, the tear comes out. Then I use the method, where, because she's old, one of the method which I call right brain approach, the spontaneous, natural methods, so that the patient gives answer from that space and not from a learned or a memory space. So I asked her that if you write your autobiography, what golden moment you will highlight? She said, again, see this very similar thing, tasty food, making new dishes, where masala should be perfect. My relative take my mixture of masala all over wherever they go. Embroidery. I will write about embroidery because that's what I was known for. I made many dresses, napkins, table pieces, handkerchiefs, frames. Whenever I'm bored, I will do this. Again, very similar language. So I saw that 2-3 things which are running is boredom, happiness, and there's some sort of confusion. So see, now I'm becoming act and asking. If you want to leave a story for your grandchildren, what you will leave? Again, a story where there is this happy story, because that's the master key running in the center. Story of your happiness. She said all those activities where you get mental happiness, and she used the word, Hindi word called Anand. Unfortunately, you don't have an English word for that, but like deep happiness in a way, simple. Deep happiness with small activities. Used to get satisfied with these activities and would not get bored at all. And I will talk about those small activities which used to keep me happy. And then she tells me, do you get bored, doctor? And she tried to laugh with a serious face of Parkinson. What do you do to come out? You must be occupying yourself with treating patients, but it must be very boring, no? Do you do anything to come out? And then she says, don't get confused. Don't you get confused by seeing patients after patient? And then she says, don't get confused in my case. And she says, I just choke like that. Then she says, if nothing is there, I will talk to someone or make something or eat something spicy. Now the house is empty. With whom I will talk? I would make something very pretty from an useless thing. Means she used to that time. Like from petticoat, I will do embroidery and make a very good piece out of that. And that used to give me happiness. Or what she would do if nothing is there, she has a prayer room. She will decorate that prayer room with the palm leaves, beetle leaves. And she would feel very happy. I asked her, if you want to write about your boredom, what you will write? She said, when it comes, I deliver my mind to all activities. I told you, I divert my mind to all activities. When I had a fracture and I was on bed rest, I asked my husband to provide me sewing needles and the embroidery things. And I made few things out of it by lying on the bed. Now with this illness, I cannot do anything. And this is the most difficult part. And again, she repeats, now make me all right. Yeah, and I will do something with my hand again for you. Which you and me know, with Parkinson, it is a progressive disease. Then for confirmation, asked about illness. What she think, feel, perceive, sense, and react with this illness. She said, what I say, you can see my mouth is moving, my hands are moving. I cry, tear comes out. My tongue, she shows, has crack all over. I cannot eat spicy, which I love. Now I sit at home and do nothing. My mind gets confused and I don't remember anything. Even known things I forget. She, in craving, aversion, in confirmation, she loves spicy things. Yeah. So this is the case. I know we don't have a time for discussion, but so think about the remedy if anything comes up in your mind. If any remedy comes up, anyone? Then what I do with all my patients nowadays, almost all, I give them a patient-centric diary. Of course, for each age it is different. And there are different sections there. For her, I told her to do few activities. Yeah? Think of all activities you want to do and bring bring back from your childhood, which used to give you happiness. Write them down for me. I know that she loved embroidery and sewing work, so that visualize that and see what you want to do. Tell me, once you will improve, what first artwork you want to do. Like that, some questions, If any music touches you from the old songs, write that and why. So like that, so that this diary gives me, it's a bit many, many sections are there. So, every time they come and you see whether it's the same thing coming up or different thing. Now, since it's a long time and this treatment takes time because with the Parkinson and all, I will just show you that over the period of time of last 7-8 years, she developed some acute illness and serious one. And you see what picture came up there. That also you make note. She developed acute, I think, meningitis or, kind of, and because of that, stroke-like symptom came up. So, of course, acute totality was taken. Just little bit, you have a look at her when she developed. Let's check.
Yesterday night, she was okay, she was jovial, talking to everybody. But suddenly, early morning, not able to recognize me. Who am I? This was the problem.
Because it was urgent.
Some problem, because she was not able to tell me when I was asking what's gone wrong, because
suddenly she developed this, she didn't recognize anybody, she completely lost the reality and sense of time and everything. And so husband in panic called up, so he's talking on the phone.
पता चल जाता है. She was not talking anything, चुप हो गया था. Then I told something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Then it started. How it started? David doctor, that neurologist in the hospital, I want to rule out meningitis. So I want to take her in lumbar puncture. Now you are able to see her, na?
Yes.
Okay. So just to have a little bit of glimpse of that acute, and what came up in this acute is, just to save time, in acute I do case taking in 2 steps. We don't have much time, but a guided, so that change what have come since acute, change in physical, general, mental and holistic changes, all step by step brought it out. With some normal questions, some unique artistic questions, like that, which I have a list of 100 questions there. So you try to bring those symptoms out. And then you confirm, once you get the master key, directly you zoom up with that master key so that you don't waste time, and in 5 to 10 minutes, you get the whole history. What came up in her in acute, just to save time, is this: that not able to stand from the bed, not able to lift her head, total loss of orientation, doesn't recognize anybody. She in that disorientation, she's talking from the hospital. You told me, doctor, I will be all right. Now I got this. Yeah, I called doctor, he wants to send me to the God's place. And I've told doctor that my passport is expired, I will not go. Means she was, even with this, she was choking. Yeah. that my passport is expired. And she was in delirium. She said, where is my sari? Where is my petticoat? She wanted to make those embroidery. Delirium today, who will make food? She said, asking for Durga Puja food today. Want to go to Kolkata so that she can enjoy fun time there. There were some dreams which came up in that acute dream that she's in a bed with illness and not able to do her routine work and bored. And my husband is abroad and no one is able to do any work. Dream of constant being busy. Dreams of constant headache and constantly asking to get up and work and do some work, especially artwork. It means that constantly she wants to be busy. Yeah, which remedy in the acute you want to give? There was some more characteristic, general and particular characteristic, constant want to change her position. Yeah, and when she changes her position, she feels better. The bursting headache, yeah, which is aggravated by movement of the eyes. And she desired for milk and milk product. Any remedy in this acute coming up for her? Anyone? Carol is saying Piper Mithyasticum only. So naturally, I had a new totality with this dream. Dreams of busy, dreams of headache, constantly asking to get up and work. Yeah, bursting headache, desire for milk and milk product. Then during this recent time, that is after 10 years of treatment, she developed Delta wave, the second wave COVID, where everything was locked down and bed with her condition, Parkinson, which improved, gone through this kind of meningitis, and now this. Again, of course, acute was there, so to make the totality, just to check. And what came up there is, there was a video there, but it's okay, we can save that time now. So COVID positive, CT score was this, CRP was 30, advised hospitalization with her health. She said, now I'm going, doctor. Nothing is helping. She was really, your medicine for 3 days, but the cough is the same. Breathlessness is increasing. Occasionally, I have to take oxygen. Very strange symptom happened. And some discharge from the breast came out. This also came when, she remembered that when she was in teenage, this had happened. Very characteristic with COVID. When wake up, I had profuse perspiration. Fever is more when I wake up in the morning. Yeah. Then what dreams with this acute? Dream of having severe cough. Pain in the chest and I'm changing my position constantly. But that doesn't help me at all. And there was a desire to decorate her temple with a pan leaf, beetle leaf. Again, there was a constant desire to change her position. There was no taste in the mouth, but the fruits, tea, or even spicy taste same. Everything tastes bland. Appetite had increased, but does not feel like eating because the taste was not there. So, This was the totality, acute totality. Yeah. Now, in all three, you have full case, you have two follow-ups. What remedy coming up? Anyone who wants to write it down? Anyone? Arsenic. Rekha is saying arsenic. It makes sense, huh? Because of the restlessness. Yes, makes sense, Rekha. Anyone else? So naturally, let's start with the first one. See how to go. The first is, first put the center of the, see, these are acute later, but suppose we have the first case, which was 10 years back. Yeah. And what was the center running? Whether it is in childhood, whether present with this illness or present stage, or in the dreams, or with the interest and hobbies. This is what was running. No, there was, she wants small happiness, fun, enjoyment. Whether it is decorating the temple, whether it is sewing, whether embroidery. Yeah. But you see, the other side is that she gets bored completely. And whenever she gets bored, with fracture example she gave, or with this illness she gave, or childhood with the singing when she gets bored, so how she goes to the singing and all those activities. So if you see properly, so when she's bored, when she's seeing the suffering or pain, yeah, what she does is she gets occupied into those small things which will give her happiness. It doesn't do big things, but sewing, embroidery, making food, decorating the temple, listening to the song, yeah, like that. So what I saw in the whole case is the language more of a thematic, not rubric language, or not the language of the, but thematic. The themes which were running, the small happiness, and there is boredom. So in order to come out of that boredom, when she's sad, when she is suffering, she needs to divert her mind and occupy herself in day-to-day activities, which gives her happiness, whether food or spicy thing. Then I was looking a remedy from that perspective. If you put rubric, that entertainment ameliorates, or amusement desire for the happiness you have, but all this and happy, yeah, like that. Diversion of mind ameliorates, occupation ameliorates. When you put only that, you'll see the remedy coming up is Piper Mithiastic. Okay. If you add amusement desire, for all others will go away. or happiness and those rubrics. All others will go away. Only Piper mithiasticum will remain. Now, when you read Piper, yeah, Piper has Piper mithiasticum, yeah, from materia wise, we don't go to anything else. Yeah, it is called kava kava. There are three groups of symptoms. Group one, where you have amusement, desire for. Ennui means boredom. Entertainment ameliorates. Talkative, happy. Unusual liveliness. Vigor, exhilaration, pleasant youth, freshness. Dream of giving surprise party to a friend, where the prayer meeting turned into a restaurant. Imagine a prayer meeting which is supposed to be serious or boring, turned into a restaurant which is supposed to be happy place. Making sense? Then there is a second group of symptom here. Occupation ameliorates. Thinking of complaint aggravates. And the third group of symptom, boredom. Fear of pain or fear of suffering. Or sensitive to pain, sensitive to suffering. Yeah? When you go to Piper, you don't only read from homeopathy, but when you look from a nature point of view, or the characteristic of the kava kava, yeah, then you will see the one more characteristic inside is a chemical which is called caveolactone. In detail I not go, but caveolactone act on the GABA and the dopamine receptor, both which are responsible for happiness and your acetylcholine of the Parkinson patient. Right now we don't have time, so I'll not go in detail of this. Otherwise, I'll show you detailed study of all the new research work of caveolactone. So why I'm showing you this is because in homeopathy, you may not have a sphere of actions of Piper mithiasticum. But when you read from a chemical angle, that's why you need to read remedy from a multidimensional perspective. My work, whether Master Key, the book which I'm writing for Materia Medica, or the plantski.com for the whole plant group, is about this, that you look a remedy from different perspective, not just a book, one homeopathic book, but multi-homeopathic book, then multi-dimensional from different homeopathic aspect, chemical aspect, yeah, natural aspect, mythology, and then check what is running through and through. So when I saw this, I said, okay, yes, it totally makes sense, even the sphere of action matching. And if you see all the mythology of kava kava, now caveolactone also, I want to tell you that it's a substance which is a drug substance, but it is not from the same group of, let's say, cannabis or those group of remedies which kind of excite your brain and gives you hallucinations. This just gives you happiness. Now that's very interesting, and that's what is coming up in whole homeopathic symptomatology. Celebration sense, happiness, and not like drug substance to stimulate your brain in that way. Yeah. And all the mythology, I'll cut here time being, points to those celebrations. In fact, kava in earlier days used to be taken to for the whole kingdom before the wine and the beer and all came into existence, to create that feeling of happiness among highest to the lowest. I'm not here. Now, if you look materia medica, see other symptom which is there. Changing position ameliorate. Like what you were calling arsenic, it is also there in this. Other symptom, if you check, so yeah, there's some more symptom. 1 minute. Yeah. Changing position ameliorates in boric. You see, craving for milk and milk product, dreams of busy and headache in vermilion. So if you see, all what were there, even in the acute, both acute, they were also matching into Piper remedy. The whole of that happiness was coming up and along with different symptoms, but they are there in the Piper. So in both acute also, she received Piper mithiasticum. Making sense? Read further. The great appetite, bland and tastelessness, restlessness, desire in pain to change position. And see, even the chest milk increase and aggravated in the morning. So, yeah. Okay. And the whole master key of a family Piperaceae, where Piper mithiasticum belong. It's the same group where Piper nigricum, black pepper, Piper long, Piper beetle, Indian what they eat, pan. And that also after food, no? When your system is going in a dull mode, you eat pan to kind of stimulate system in a normal way, not like a cannabis way. So the whole master key of the Piperaceae also, in order to come out of day-to-day boredom, suffering, divert your mind to day-to-day simple entertainment, amusement, excitement, or happiness. So that's the key, yeah, of so everything was matching here. Okay. Okay. So how much time I have, Dr. Kavita?
So, Dr. Dinesh, you still have 15 more minutes and we'll just take few questions. Please.
15. Nah, so I'll go faster now, because
and then we can take 10 minutes question. So is that okay? And we will bring you back again.
I agree. So I have to come back before showing follow-up. So what I was trying to show you is that in old age or wisdom age, and I'll go a little faster, but later on maybe in some other platform, or we can discuss in detail, that you need to have a tailor-made designer approach. What I mean, I spoke about, now first, if you check the research-wise, the elderhood brain research, but the new research what has done, yeah, that as you age, the amygdala becomes less responsive to upsetting stimuli. At the same time, however, the older people remain just as sensitive to uplifting stimuli. So what happens is they accept the emotions, the traumas and all in a better way. Now, why we call wisdom age? Yeah. Second, few things happen that it's almost like a second childhood where they have gone through the left logical learned brain journey, and now they come back to again that imaginary age, natural, spontaneous space. Pathology wise, their recent memory is becoming weak, but the old memory is becoming good. You remember I was asking golden moments. Yeah. And they spend more time with their alone self, what we call in their natural, alone, blissful space. They reflect on past golden moment. They reflect on what could have changed, what they could have, avoided. They are very, they stay in that alone space and reflect because that memory is more clear. And because they are retired, what they can do all day, they have collected, that it's like a crescendo, that peak they share with the next generation, especially the third generation, grandchildren or the like. So that's why based on all this we can design our case taking. For example, the 3 steps of case taking in an open space. The first question can be asked to wisdom age in that specific way. In a guided passive, we can design the artistic questions and guided method according to the old age in the center. And then the whole method can be done patient-centric, inactive, and active-active. Based on that method which they are in tune with. What I'm saying all this, I give you an example. For example, here in a passive, suppose I want to start for the old age, I would say like this, that imagine you are sitting in your favorite alone space and you are reflecting backward in your life and trying to collect all those things which are natural and spontaneous to you, not what you have learned, acquired, or which was the part of your personal professional journey, but natural, what you will put it. See the second question that, sometime I start with this, that if you write an autobiography of yourself, which you will only read, what you will put, make a genuine attempt. There are many cases which have opened with this and their life has changed. Once I kept guiding with that question in every stage of their life. Or if you reflect on golden moments of different stages, different situations, personal, professional, or relaxing space, what you will put it. Or you see, because this is again a second childhood. So once upon a time, long, long ago, start your whole life. And they do better compared to those middle age where they are stuck with the logic. So like that, if I see in a guided passive, similar questions I will develop. For example, those above one, or if given a chance to relive the life, what you will do. If you want to change anything or delete anything, because now they can see all this. Like that in my book or my new book, I put around 100 questions for this age. And then, yeah, so like that. Like 1 or 2 more. If you, what's your bucket list, suppose, yeah? If you are telling a grandchildren story about your life or wisdom or the advice you want to, what you will put it. So the whole case taking can be that age centric. and not those book-centric what we generally do. Location, sensation, modality, concomitant. Tell about your fear, tell about your dreams, tell about, like that. You will get more better answers. Yeah, so that's very, very important. Yeah, and then if you see in this lady also, no, based on that, my active and active would go. I said, if you telling a story to your grandchildren about your happiness, what you will put it? Like, does it make sense? I've cut here, but many, many such questions you can design for each age, especially for old age. So that's what. And then I design a kind of elderhood centric diary for them. Give it to them either online or the physical form, and guide them after the case. Once I've understood them, which are the method working, and there are various sections like this in that diary. Time being take it because we don't have time. So there are various sections are there: alone, blissful space, your natural activity, guided activity, which we give them. Yeah, other characteristic like that. So sections are there, and they actually write, do some activity in alone space, in natural activity or guided activity. And what comes up, they write for us, and other characteristic like what we do in normal follow-ups. And then what comes up, every follow-up when they tell us, we guide them further. Either you get more better remedy, or you get convinced, or when the healing part comes up, you can guide them accordingly. Making sense? Any question, anyone? So just in nutshell, this is what, there are many cases here, but let's then not go there right now. Let me check, wait a minute, till you write question, I come back to.
As of now, there are no questions, sir.
No problem. So let's go to the now follow-ups. So because I know I have less time, and let's first finish the follow-up. This is the PowerPoint, yes. How much you think she should improve? Anyone? So here let's go to the fast. Where is the follow-up now? Yeah. Okay. The first follow-up of the Parkinson, not with the acute, but the Parkinson. Yeah. Let's see over a period of 10 years what happened to her.
ओवरऑल कैसा है, जिसके लिए आए थे वो सब चीजें कैसी है?
नहीं, वो बेटर है। वो बेटर है। अब इसी बंद कर दिया क्यों?
2 मिनट सुनने के लिए
अच्छा,
करता हूँ फिर।
वो बेटर है। ये कारण मैं बताती हूँ। उधर मेरा पोता का
He speak in local language, but the Hindi language, but you can see the translation, so you will know.
थोड़ा उधर एक गेट टुगेदर हुआ कोलकाता में, तो उधर सब कोई आया। पहले जैसे सब कोई मेरे को बताता है, तुम्हारा तबीयत, तुम ऐसा हो गया क्यों, तुम चुपचाप बैठे रहते हैं, तुम कुछ काम नहीं।
So the first change which came up, that she went to Kolkata, she again became a part of some celebration, which is, they go in every year for those spiritual time, especially with during the, goddess Kali's, a prayer time. And she enjoyed those conversations with people, and people told her that there is a change in you. Now you are talking to us, which is a good sign. I'm just, yeah. Yeah, now after 1 year, what happened to her?
कितना अच्छा है फिर मैं बोलता हूँ।
नहीं मैं क्या बताती हूँ, एक तो महीना पूरा बंद करके देखती हूँ, अच्छा नहीं होगा तो आपको तो आपके बोल नहीं सकते।
पहले ये बताओ आपको कितना अच्छा है वो बताओ, तो मुझे समझ में आएगा तो मैं बोल सकता हूँ।
पहले सारा दिन सुआ रहते थे, अभी सारा दिन सुआ नहीं रहती हूँ।
और
पहले भाई खाना पकाते थे, अभी
1
मैं
minute.
खाना
Are
पकाती
you
हूँ।
able to see the video properly or there's an issue? No. Okay.
Yes, sir, we could see the video.
Okay. Now, okay. Sorry. There's something. It went too fast. So then she was better overall. Her movement of the face stopped. Her hand movement stopped. For after 1 year, she actually wanted to stop the treatment. Yeah. She started making food for the house again, for husband, and household activities she started doing. So this were very good change, being with what we know Parkinson, which is progressive disease. Yeah. Yeah. And then interesting thing happened. That one fine day she came with this picture, this thing which she came up. It is here in my clinic also. And she made this from a silk thread. Ganesha, Lord Ganesha, treating my clinic name Swasthya. Yeah. And she did this embroidery. Now this was, I was not expecting, because to bring a coordination and fine movement, this was after a year. Here I knew that she's definitely at all stage improving. Yeah. Let's see a follow-up after 5 years. She comes, you see how everything has changed. She's laughing, she's joking.
जब जितना दिन
रहेगा
इधर रहेंगे तो थोड़ा बहुत कम है।
थोड़ा बहुत कम है।
आप जो अच्छा किया, मेरे को जो अच्छा लगा, इतना दिन बाद मैं अकेला पावे से ऑटो लेके अकेला आई, मैंने कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया थोड़ा।
बहुत अच्छा किया, बहुत।
हाँ, 10 रुपया मेरे को ये दिया, फिर भी
see? Clear communications, everything fine. You see, hands are okay, face is okay. She does all the activity by her own. Husband comes and says she's developed ringworm infection, which I knew why she's developed. She had in the past what we call exteriorization of the complaint. Yeah. So overall, better.
किया।
And she joked, like that one. So she's just talking from all the aspect that how much better she is. Yeah. And joking with me.
ओके, मैं ऐसा ही मजाक करने का आदत है, आप कुछ माइंड मत कीजिए।
करने मजाक ही करते रहने का।
Yeah. Then what happened with her is, then one day she came after 5 years and she actually made whole dress. And you see how beautifully fine movements have come.
मैं जाने का टाइम को सोचा रही, जब लेके आई मेरा मम्मी का हाथ का सिलाई और अच्छी, बहुत ही अच्छी।
Yeah. Also, if you, yes, I'll just save time. Nicely she does. After 5 years, she also did this whole sari with silk thread, beautifully, with blouse and all. Even when she developed meningitis, she came, as I told you, she came out beautifully. I'll just go with the next one, which is with COVID, yeah, just to save time. With the COVID also, she came out beautifully. Where she was on the deathbed, people thought now she'll not survive. Look.
Good evening, doctor.
Good evening. How are you?
I am always fine. You know that.
Tell me. To defeat Corona, how are you feeling?
बुखार चला गया,
बुखार गया।
कुछ ठीक नहीं है। एक रिपोर्ट जो रिपोर्ट लिया, एक रिपोर्ट ठीक नहीं है।
वो कोई चिंता की बात नहीं है, वो हो जाएगा ठीक। आप मेरे पे छोड़ दो अभी। आपको पासपोर्ट के साथ ही हम लोग फॉरेन कंट्री भेजेंगे।
We are just joking with each other that, you know, she likes this joke on that death means going to God's place without passport. So I'm saying to her that I will send you up only with passport. And I tell her that, you know, God likes you because every time you have a serious illness, you come back. And more better. When we both joke and she, you know, jokes again, 2-3 jokes she tells me. But that's happiness. You know, you even in her serious illness, she creates that environment. Now you see, it's almost 12 years are over. Completely better. She goes with her husband to other country for 3 months or 6 months. She takes care of the whole house. Husband is retired, but he does take some post-retirement, you know, work. And she's doing it very well. Parkinson is not bothering her at all. So this is, I'm saying, 12 years after the original when she was having. Anyway, any question, anyone?
Sir, if patient is not opening up, how to take case? It's a question from Dr. Pooja Prasad.
Pooja, when we focus on the old age. Naturally, old people have gone through the journey. They don't want to talk to you. They'll only say everything is fine, everything is fine. You need to create that environment with them. You have to sometime become their grandchildren, sometime become their best friend, sometime go in that alone space what they enjoy. Most of the time what we do is we do a book-centric picture with them and then they will not open up. I'm yet to come across one old person who is not spoken because I become them. I speak their language. I take case according to the area, that is golden movement, old age, yeah, old memories, stories, and all. Slowly, I take them to the areas which they love the most. So Poonam, I'm convinced all of them talk. Now, 22 years of practice, 20,000 plus cases where each case is 1.5 hour long minimum. I am convinced they talk. It's only thing is we need to give that space, patient-centric space, which we are missing.
Yes. Another question from Dr. Rani Man. What potency of Pipermyasticum?
Very good question. To start with, if you see in the first case, I had to do a lot to ask her, bring symptoms. So 100 was given to her. First minimum dose only. But when I started giving her every, I think 15 days, something like that, she started improving more and more. And now she receives only infrequent dose because now her age is 75 plus and some or the other like in between this keeps coming. So we give her some doses. But that time, one every 15 days and she constantly improved. Okay. Anybody else?
Dr. Poonam Chablani, right brain is creative and left brain is logic. Do you mean by right brain approach, old people become more creative?
No, what I mean here is that inside us, there is one person who is learned person, who is learned according to the age, according to the society, according to the upbringing, according to the religion, according to the profession. And there is inside us another one which is constant, natural, original us, which doesn't change with age, which time, which situations, remains constant. So right brain method, when I say, is the approach which brings natural symptom of you, spontaneous symptom of you, by asking artistic, unique questions, or creating methods which takes you in that natural movement of you and bring the symptom out. Am I clear? That is right brain approach.
So
Poonam.
there's another question from Rekha Sharma. What are the repetition of doses and should we prescribe according to miasm or use anti-miasmatic in between such cases?
Lovely question. That should we use anti-miasmatic? Let me give you an example. A patient who is natrum mur in and out. Okay, I gave natrum mu to that patient. He improves for some time, and then there is a blockage with a deep pathology, let's say old age deep pathology, improved and block. So naturally one thought will come up with a classical thinking that give anti-miasmatic remedy to block, remove this block. My take on this is this, that rather than giving an anti-miasmatic, let's say psychotic in this case, means this natrum mur and psychotic. So rather than giving thuja or medorinum, I would give a remedy natrum sulfuricum, which covers the natrum and also antipsychotic remedy after thuja and medorinum. Is it making sense? So I will give a remedy which covers the miasm in it, if the miasm is in the center. Perfect. Anybody else?
That's it, sir.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you
Go
so
ahead,
much.
Doctor.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dinesh, for this wonderful session. I know we had all great people so far at our KHA webinars for the month of April, Hanuman Day, and also World Homeopathy Awareness Month. So with all these great people like Dr. Misha Norland, Dr. Ajit Kulkarni, to name few, Dr. Chauhan, Dr. Manish Bhatia, and Dr. Rajan Shankaran. And 2 hours is not at all sufficient. I do agree. But today's session is really amazing. And with simple steps and identifying the master key of case, arriving at simillimum, it is amazing. No words. And we are so fortunate to have you with us today, Dr. Dinesh.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Kavita. First, to create platform like this, where platform itself is integrative and multidimensional. It's not talking about one school, one person, one theory, one book, right? It is talking about inclusive, integrative, multidimensional, where principles are constant, the true classical Hahnemannian principle, but the way each one perceive, you put that. So in a way, the platform itself is integrative, multidimensional, which is beauty of this platform. And that's the reason why, the people from every background you mentioned, from Misha Norland to Manish to Dr. Rajan, to every person, they belong to different group, different thinking, but they come, essence is the what you bring out. That's very important here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dinesh. Since we have another session right after this one, we would like to take the privilege to honor your gracious presence today and for your precious time in sharing your knowledge and wisdom with us. And we will bring you back again and would like to honor you with our KHA certificate. Please kindly accept it. And Dr.
Thank you so much.
Petra,
Thank you.
please. Yeah, thank you so much. And
So can I stop? Can I stop with one Woody Allen's poetry?
please.
I'll just share. You will like it because it is with the age. The Woody Allen says that in my next life, I want to live my life backward. You start out dead and get that out of the way. Then you wake up in the old people's home feeling better every day. You get kicked out of being too healthy. Go collect your pension, and then when you start work, you get a gold watch and a party on your first day. You work for 40 years until you are too young enough to enjoy your retirement. You party, drink alcohol, and are generally promiscuous. Then you are ready for high school. Then you go to primary school. You become a kid. You play. You have no responsibility. You become a baby until you are born. And then you spend your last 9 months floating in luxurious spa-like condition with central heating and room service on tap, larger quarters every day. And then, voila, you finish off as an orgasm. It's nice, way to just say, go back.
That's a beautiful poem, and we love it. Perfectly suits to our session and the source of truth. Thank you so much, Dr. Dinesh. We will bring you
Thank you,
back
Dr.
again.
Kavita. Take care
And
and
we
all
just
the
take-
best for your.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. We just wanted to say that we'll just take 1 minute before we go on to the next session. But
I understood.
thank you.
I go and stop. Yes. Take care. Bye bye. Yeah. And all the best with the next session.
Topic for today's session is importance of ACHENA. Our homeopathic study group encourages homeopaths around the globe to participate in ACHENA webinars to receive deeply continuous educational credit. We conducted in-person webinars in the past with Dr. Chauhan, Karen Allen, and more. ACHENA accreditation Commission for Homeopathic Education in North Africa in non-profit agency. Council as the Council on Homeopathic Education. It's an independent accreditation agency and it's a member of the Association of Specialized and Professional Accreditation. In December 2020, we did an enlightenment session. San Francisco, California, president of ACHENA, with an experienced integrated healthcare practitioner. CCH, nationally certified in classical homeopathy. After completing the homeopathic program, a specific Academy of Homeopathic Medicine in San Francisco, Karen began practicing in 1994. She received the National Board Certification in Homeopathy began the development of Trinity Health Hub as a resource for supporting and expanding homeopathy as an effective and widely available therapeutic option. She is a recognized and nationally awarded whose leadership and teaching has been influential for the generation of homeopaths. As an advocate for credentialing within integrated healthcare, Karen served as a board member and past president of Council for Homeopathic Certification, CHC. In 2013, she was awarded the Distinctive Defining Our Profession Award from the Board of CHC for contribution to the profession. In 2015, she received Henry Williams Professional Service Award from National Center for Homeopathy. From 2012 through 2015, she served as Executive Director for Homeopathy Without Borders, focusing on establishment of a self-sustaining homeopathic profession in Haiti. From 2013 through 2015, Karen served on the Board of Directors for the Integrated Health Policy Consortium as a representative for the National Center for Homeopathy. And let us welcome our honorable speaker, Karen Hannon, for webinar.
Thank you so much, Kavita. And thank you, as always, for all of your work that you do to bring so many people together and bring so much wisdom, and you do it with a great generosity of spirit. So thank you for making this possible. Let's dive right in and talk about ACHENA, okay? Some of you may be familiar already, and Kavita gave us just a little bit of what's been going on. We've been an organization since 1982, but we kind of modernized and got a new name about 10 years ago. So what is ACHENA? Why are we even here? Why are we even doing this? So ACHENA's mission is to promote excellence in education of professional homeopaths. We want to make sure that the standards of education for professional homeopaths are consistent across schools, and that we are involved in these standards that really come from you. They really come from the entire homeopathic community. In fact, just this past year, we had a whole process where all of the people within the homeopathic community were invited to comment on the standards and competencies document, which all of us as homeopaths kind of own, and give our input into it. And we're just now finishing the process of those standards and competencies being translated into what does this mean for accredited schools. So we are the shepherds of that process of how those standards and competencies come from an agreement by all of us in the community into specific things that we want our schools to follow. And then we accredit schools who are choosing to follow those things, and we are a resource to let people know what's accreditation all about and who are the accredited schools that have made the effort to go above and beyond and make sure that their professionalism is verified. So there are 4 important aspects of accreditation. One of them is what we just talked about, the community accepted standards. You know, we don't make that stuff up. We work with every homeopath who wants to comment and share an opinion and be advocating for appropriate education of homeopathy. So that's one aspect. The next aspect is peer review, where the Board of Commissioners, people who are just, as Miranda Castro would say, who are jobbing homeopaths, just people who are busy doing their work, who serve on the commission, and they help schools review to make sure that they are meeting the criteria of the community accepted standards. There's another part of that which invites the schools to reflect, how am I meeting this standard? Is this what I want my school to be doing? How does my school implement the high quality level of education? And what are the outcomes that my students are getting? And is there a process improvement that I can invoke to make sure that my school is really as good as I can help it to be? And so that's the self-study lesson. And then there's documentation of policies and procedures. In order for a school to be accredited, they have to show us, yep, we do actually keep appropriate student records. We do actually keep appropriate financial records. We do actually have all the infrastructure in place to support the students that are coming to see us in a professional way. So, principle number 1, community accepted standards. You know, accreditation is all about self-regulation. It's not a government body that's coming in and licensing. And standards are an established field all by themselves. There are best practices for establishing and maintaining standards, which ACHENA follows. And every time that the standards and competencies are updated, these originally were created in 2000. In 2010, they were updated. Both of those times there was an on-site meeting of a lot of interested parties who hammered things out. This time when we did our review, it was during COVID. So we didn't have another chance to do that on site. It was all online, and we invited people to comment and then gathered all of their comments and worked all of it virtually. And the commissioners, people who are on the ACHENA board, are people who are leaders in the field or allied professions or members of the public who are interested in homeopathy. So all of this is part of our community acceptance standards. And the schools that are accredited meet standards that help students feel confident that they're going to get a good education, that when they come out the other end, they're going to know what they need to know in order to meet those standards that our community has. So we make sure that the curriculum is up to date, that the faculty are qualified, that there's appropriate student grading, that there are resources that are made available so that the students have a really great learning experience. So the next item is about self-study. And what accreditation sometimes might have the impression of is that we have a formula that you have to follow and you must do all these things. And that's really not how accreditation is at all. Accreditation has standards, and then each school shows us how they meet those standards. And there's actually quite a lot of personal expression from the leadership of the schools about the way that they teach, the way that they meet those standards that are unique for each individual school. And then documentation of policies and procedures. Accredited schools are following their published statements so that they are consistent and fair. The students, the faculty, the administrators, they should all understand what are the rules? What are the guidelines? How is all this working so that we can cooperate well together? And then the last aspect of this is the peer review. And the accreditation reviews are done by people who are working in the field, who understand how important it is to have schools that follow these standards and want to support each school as it individually shows how it meets those standards and becomes good. So for those of you who have a college degree of any sort, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, for sure the school that you graduated from had gone through a process of accreditation. So we want homeopaths to have that same high quality standards so that when they are going to a school, they can feel confident that they will be treated professionally, that they will be educated to meet the standards and competencies that we've all agreed on. So who are our schools that are accredited? AHE in Philadelphia, the American Medical College of Homeopathy, the British Institute of Homeopathy that has a program in the United States, the Canadian College of Homeopathic Medicine, the Homeopathy School International in Colorado, the Northwestern Academy of Homeopathy that's in Minnesota, and the School of Homeopathy in the UK. So we also have some additional schools that are in the process now of applying. So let's say that you feel interested in ACHENA and you're thinking, you know, I've got some time. I would be interested in putting a shoulder to that wheel to assure that we get good education. So you might be interested in being an ACHENA board commissioner, where you're helping to complete the work of the organization. You might be interested in peer review school site visits. Now, these all used to be on site, but now they're all online. So anybody from anywhere has access to doing those. You might be interested in the continuing professional development review team. Those folks are the ones who review the applications for continuing education like KHA has. Or outreach and community communications, where we are collaborating with the schools and with the associations, professional associations and state organizations, or the Department of Education. We are now preparing to apply for Department of Education recognition. We've been in a preparation process for a long time, and now we have a designated contact at the Department of Education, and we are working to get through that application process so that we can be recognized by the Department of Education, which would allow these schools to have student loans. Big step forward, a lot of exciting things going on. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for taking the time to review this. I want to say thank you again for Kavita, for all of the generous time that she puts into bringing all of these speakers together for you. And if you're interested, you can go visit the website, and also here's the contact email address that you can use to reach out to our admin, Amanda Kakuba, and that also gets to me, and that also gets to Rick Catronio, our executive director. So Kavita, do you have any comments or questions?
Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing this great information about ACHENA, because we had it 2 years back and there's a lot of changes, new things have been added and new website changes. There is a lot more information on the website too. And we did receive many questions in this during the webinar or so, but today's session is very helpful and it has answered many of those questions and very useful, so that they can watch the recording anytime and can participate in the any voluntary activities kind of things also. And we encourage homeopaths to participate in our ACHENA accredited webinars, because there is so much hard work and competency, so much is there in this thing, Karen, and you and everyone in the team, they are doing really great job, and thank you so much for your precious time and your gracious presence today at our platform. We are so honored.
Thank you, Kavita. Be well, take good care.
We are not able to take questions at this time, but please email us to caststudygroup@gmail.com and we will convey to Karen and the team for any more questions. Thank you all. And we will see Karen again at our ACHENA accredited webinar next year with a beautiful topic. And thank you so much, Karen. See you again.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing how important it is ACHENA And we would like to take privilege to honor your gracious presence and for your precious time at our KHA webinar for sharing your knowledge and wisdom. So Dr. Sweta, would you like to share, please? Thank you. Right, we're almost coming to the end. And today we have many of our KHA volunteers, Dr. Nupusha, Dr. Pooja Naik, Dr. Mamata, Dr. Poonam, Dr. Bhavana, Dr. Deepa, Dr. Narsimha, Dr. Hira, and many more. And before we go on to the upcoming events, anything we have Dr. Shrija and Dr. Sweta to say?
I think we left with the code of ethics, ma'am, which Dr. Poonam Chavlani has to read for us. So over to Dr. Poonam Chavlani, ma'am.
Thank you, Shweta. It's a privilege to be part of KHA Mukti study group, and I would like to read our ethics and benefits of KHA study group pro bono. First, to be a part of KHA speaker, one needs at least 1 to 2 months active volunteering. Second, only KHA speakers' themes are promoted in newsletters and webinars. Third, KHA provides volunteering for 2 to 12 months, respects and inspires volunteers to grow. Fourth, active volunteers will be promoted through our website and newsletter and will be sent for journals too. Fifth, articles of the volunteers will be posted on KHA website and newsletters will be sent for publication in other journals too. Sixth, volunteers and speakers are eligible for prestigious KHA annual awards. Seventh, volunteers are eligible for KHA inspirational talks. Eighth, volunteers are eligible for case discussions. Ninth, KHA promotes homeopathic organizations as well as the mega events. 10th, KHA promotes great work of speakers through their book reviews. 11th, honorable guests may propose the future courses, events after the webinar. And 12th, KHA maintains a healthy and happy environment and keeps only like-minded folks. And lastly, the 13th point, KHA requests everyone to maintain the confidentiality of the group. Thank you so much. Over to you, Shweta and Shrija.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for your gracious presence today, and it's a wonderful sessions by both the speakers, and we are happy to inform you all that we are proud that Dr. Kavita ma'am has received Women of the Year 2023 in the medical field from NATA, that is North American Telugu Association, for Women's Day. We are so proud of this moment, ma'am, and congratulations. And thank you everyone for the presence. And we have the upcoming webinar that is on May 7th, 2023 at 8:30 p.m. IST or 11 a.m. Eastern. Speaker of the month is Dr. Rajneesh Kumar Sharma, MBBS MD, and the topic is compulsive buying disorder, CBD, oniomania, and homeopathy. So you can find the updates on the social media, that is Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and also the webinars recordings are on the YouTube channel Kavita Kukunur. And for all the queries, you can send us at kastudygroup@gmail.com. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Srija, and thank you, Dr. Poona. So April 10th, happy World Homeopathy Day and birthday of Dr. Samuel Haniman, founder of homeopathy. So wishing you all happy World Homeopathy Awareness Month also. And Dr. Sweta, would you like to say anything?
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, the session, today's session were very enlightening and knowledgeable. I really enjoyed both the sessions, and congratulations to the speakers, and many congratulations to you, ma'am, for the award on Women's Day, and happy World Homeopathy Day in advance to all the viewers. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. For May 7th, we are going to have our third anniversary too on the same day. So see you all. And once again, thank KHA Homeopathy Study Group entire team for the continuous support, and also all the participants for their undivided attention and love. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shrija. And Dr. Sweta, would you like to end the session, please?
Sure.
Thank you all, and happy Easter here for us. Thank you. And have a nice day. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.